answer your question?
Yeah, I think for the most part, yes. I'm just kind of looking out for, kind of, what would help the undergraduates to kind of move forward, if they choose to go into that area.
Yeah, if you want to choose your area, you certainly have to figure out what motivates you, in the sense that, do you want to be more hands-on with the data, versus do you want to go more towards the algorithm line? Like, you pick the one that works the most for you. Pick the one which is more comfortable for you. And certainly there is a lot out there, and it's confusing. I've seen that. So a natural fit would be like, so to me, for whatever reason, I've said, I've seen the future with, like, I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years that there are a lot of changes that are happening in the data center side of things. But don't get me wrong, there is so much more things that are happening in, say, automotive, or like the AI space, with like all the voice recognition and stuff. And also a lot more happening in the finance industry, no doubt about it. And um, in terms of the industry, you have a lot of choices. Go with your gut feeling, and it's okay to make some errors. You try something, it doesn't work out, you move on to other things. There's so much flexibility that you get when your basic fundamentals are strong. By basic fundamentals, I mean the math and the skill set that comes with it, right? When that is strong, you have the flexibility to pick a field that's of your choice. So I believe that's the strength that you want to work on.
All right, go ahead, William.
I just had a quick question, kind of branching off that. What kind of classes that you took in your undergrad and graduate programs do you think influenced, like, and helped you the most in your career path?
Yeah, certainly the things that I had in my last slide, the linear algebra, probability, statistics, calculus, those are kind of core fundamentals that would help a lot. Um, Certainly those were very influential and helped me to be at the place where I am right now. Statistics, yeah, that's certainly there. And of course, programming. I wouldn't. I would. It would be an injustice if I don't consider programming in that. So certainly, you learn programming in your first year, second year. That plays a lot of role. In it, it goes all the way. And I do agree. At some point, when you have, like, I don't know, 15-20 years of experience or so, you would probably not be coding so much, not writing codes on an everyday basis. Rather, you would be spending more of your time trying to think about problems which are very open. But that's the way to go forward. So it would help in the near future, programming. But after a while, your communication and all that comes up a lot. So even those additional courses that you could borrow off from other streams, like that involves communication, I would say go for it.
Okay, thank you. That answered my question.
Michael.
Branching off the programming, which programming languages would you say are most evident in your field today? Like, would you use most commonly?
Today, most often is Python, but in the distant past, I remember most of my programming was based off MATLAB. That was like a strong, solid tool. And even before that, in my undergrad, I used to learn C, if I'm not wrong, and basics of programming. Really, all that matters is, at the undergrad education level, as long as it doesn't matter which language you choose, but your programming skill set is applicable across any multiple languages. So a person who is an expert in even C, like, maybe after some point of time just works in Java, and it's easy to pick up languages. To give you an example in my own real life, so like I said, most of my graduate studies was mostly within MATLAB. But when I switched towards the startup that I was working for, I picked up a language, it's called Scala. Um, Scala is a functional programming language. It's still a programming language though, but the paradigm of thinking kind of is shifted between Java, and there is a lot of material out there that talks about different languages. Is Python better, or is Scala versus Java, which is better? Because they think Java is like a sister of Scala is really like a sister of Java. It's possible to visualize it like that as well. My takeaway is it doesn't really matter from a language perspective. What matters is the programming skills, regardless of any language that you pick up at the undergraduate level. The language might vary over the course of your experiences. That happens a lot, especially in my case too. So you shouldn't be boxed by that, is what I want to say.
Gotcha. Thank you.
How would you predict that the data science field will change over the next 5, 10 years?
Good question. There are a lot of innovations, a lot of new ideas coming on board, and as new things come on, the technology is also changing. So keep in mind we are advancing in multiple levels, right? So as your as your the hardware, the CPU hardware and your servers, they become better, you can do a lot more compute, as well as you like, and the now, so like like TensorFlow and all the other tools that are currently helping out data scientists, they are what, like maybe I want to say 2 3 years old, not too long ago. They are famous, right? And they're going to change a lot too. So there is a lot of change that's expected to come in the years. At least I want to say, at least to what I see as of now, we never had a master's program in data science until, I don't know, 3 4 years ago now, and PhD in data science is still an anomaly. As of now, it exists in some places, but not everywhere, right? And masters is, you could see that more happening. So these courses are just coming out now. You imagine engineering streams have been there for years, and changes are still happening. Given the fact that data science is at very infancy stage now, I see growth in it no less than the next like 20 to 50 years.
Thank you.
So, what career mistake has given you the biggest lesson?
Say that again.
What career mistake has given you the biggest lesson?
Oh, career mistake. Sure. Yeah, I know. So to me, so I shifted gears from academia to industry. I don't think that was the biggest career mistake. I think that was the growth in the right direction. But when I jumped from the R&D industry to a startup, that's a whole new world. So to me, I felt at least couple of months thinking, did I do a mistake by jumping in too soon? So certainly I want to head out from an R&D industry where, because you are doing research, yes, but then you're not really working on cutting edge technologies that are changing the lives, right? That's where I felt that you have to move into a more commercial industry to get into work with technology more. Whereas I think maybe I should not have moved too soon into a startup, because I felt in a startup world, more than the work itself, you have other things that you need to take into account. How is the company going to run? Are we going to get funded for the next year? Or should we maybe look out for jobs already? So such questions kind of stop you from making progress. That's probably one of the biggest career mistakes that I did. Although certain valuable lessons that I've learned from there is the incredible amount of fast learning. That's just amazing. There is no question that at a startup you learn a lot more and faster than any other place. In a big corporate, that happens, but very slow. Whereas in a startup, there is no boundaries that are out there, so you can learn at a really high pace. So although I felt that was a mistake, but I think that I learned a lot in that.
Thank you.
So like as like AI and stuff gets better and better and better, like an example, and it's like used to like aid like experts and stuff. Do you think there'll be a time where like there's a discrepancy between where like experts think one way, whereas AI prediction might point towards another way? I guess like an example like with in healthcare, like with imaging stuff, like if the AI deep learning model tells you, yeah, this is some type of disease, but the expert's like, I don't think it is. Do you think there's how that's going to play out in the future?
Oh yeah, I mean mistakes, crazy mistakes like that have happened. Not just in the healthcare, as an example that you pointed out. They also had some studies with astrophysics. I've seen some. I've read something about. Can't remember the details now. Certain astronomical data that data scientists and experts were saying something so completely different, two different things, literally, and they said data science just fails there. It's possible to visualize it, to see it that way, but there got to be an explanation that this missed out usually. So um, to me, AI is more like just model tuning and getting better results, learning more from the data. But experts' opinions have to be weighed in before your algorithms right. So it's possible. I mean, as of now, the fight exists, and it's gonna exist until, for a while for sure, until things get sorted out, because you can't really make a good model and validate it if you have not seen results that are not falling within your prediction range, and if you're not seeing errors, that's a problem. So it's better to handle it using the expert's knowledge, but then you gotta validate it at the end, and there is still a long way to go there before we get to a stage where, hey, I don't need experts for this field anymore. That's It's possible to get there, but it's going to take some time. We are not there in the automotive yet. We're getting there, but there is still a long way to go there.
Dhanaraja, I have a question. So we said that we were going to end it at 5:15, but it's right now 5:29. I don't want to hold you off, but this could be maybe a last question,
Sure.
if you are okay with that.
Yep.
So I'm personally wondering if I will see you in 5 years back in control theory.
Good question. I have certainly branched off that, but I wouldn't say I've completely off grids from that. I, as of now, it might look like it is. It's possible. I'll keep my options open.
Sure. Okay. I'm going to pass it back to Sydney, and she's going to end the discussion, and she's going to probably say thanks to you. There we go.
Hi, we just want to thank you for coming today and talking to us as a CM chapter, and just for being able to learn from you and your career. So thank you so much for sharing with us today. We've really enjoyed having you. Anyone else have
It's a pleasure for me too. Thank you very much, Sydney.
Thank you.
And Jaron, you want to say a few words? You want to say thanks? Oh, yeah, go ahead. He's the president, by the way. He's the president of Science Student Chapter, so.
Yeah, just thanks so much for coming out. It's awesome to get to hear industrial experience and like places where we can take math and apply it in the future. So thanks so much for sharing.
Cool. Yeah, it's my pleasure. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And yeah, if you need any other suggestions or advice, happy to help.
All right. Yeah, thanks for joining us again. So thank you very much.
Thank you.